Hello everyone, we are from Group 6 and we will present about the Rohingya refugee crisis through a feminist lens in international relations. My name is Davina Salsabila.
My name is Anissa Tazkia.
My name is Natasha.
I'm Najwa Rahman.
My name is Salma Mahiran.
A brief overview of the Rohingya refugee crisis and importance of applying feminist theory in international relations. Is Rohingya? The Rohingya people are a predominantly Muslim ethnic minority group residing in Myanmar's northern Rakhine state, which shares borders with Bangladesh and India. Though the Rohingya have lived in Myanmar for centuries, they are not recognized as an official ethnic group and have been ineligible for citizenship since 1982. Because of their stateless status, they lack legal rights and protections, which expose them to exploitation, including human trafficking, child labor, child marriage, gender-based violence, and other abuse. Now, more than 960,000 people have found safety in Bangladesh, with a majority living in the Cox's Bazar region, home to the world's largest refugee camp. The UN has described the Rohingya as the most persecuted minority in the world. The Rohingya have suffered decades of violence, discrimination, and persecution in Myanmar. Entire villages were burned to the ground, dozens of families were killed or separated, and massive human rights violence were reported. Now more than 960,000 Rohingya refugees are living in Bangladesh, with a majority settled in and around Kutupalong and Ayapara refugee camps in Bangladesh Cox's Bazar region. Why is feminist theory is important for international relations? Because it sheds light on crucial issues that were previously overlooked and bring attention to the role and experience of women, challenge traditional assumptions, and provide a more holistic understanding of international relations, ultimately contributing to a more comprehensive and inclusive study of global politics.
Theory of feminism in IR is a critical IR theory that focuses on a non-state actor, primarily on women, based on a question of where are the women in the international politics. It also challenges the fact that women's lives and experiences are often excluded in this field because of the pre-existing theories are so male-centered or masculine-centered. Feminism in IR aims to correct the attitude that neglect women in international political affairs or deeming them irrelevant to the global political process. And we use this theory to make gender as our central analysis in this Rohingya refugee crisis, as we have the urge to highlight the importance to talk about the women's experience in the refugee community, in the Rohingya refugee community. Both men and women in the community both experience sufferings and etc. But we also want to highlight that women may experience it even worse than men due to the intersectional uh, factors like their gender, their race, ethnicity, and their statelessness.
The Rohingya refugee crisis. The Rohingya, an ethnic minority in Myanmar, faces significant violence due to their religious identity. The perception of them as the Bengalis exacerbates their vulnerability, rendering them stateless and denying them legal rights. The 1982 citizenship law further extends them, making them one of the most persecuted minorities in the world. The Rohingya ethnic group in Myanmar has been facing a long-standing ethnic conflict since 1991, fueled by the discrimination, rape cases, and violence against minority populations. The ongoing violence and denial of basic rights, including citizenships to the Rohingya, who are one of the largest stateless community in the world, contribute to the ongoing conflicts. Factors such as economic disparities, religions, ethnic superiorities, and the government policies further exacerbates the issues. The Rohingya crisis in Myanmar has disproportionately affected women, particularly girls, who are affected by gender, age, marital status, and other factors. Gender-based violence targeting Rohingya women has escalated since 2017, with the Tatmadaw military being the primary perpetrators. Many women have experienced sexual assaults, including rape, and have undergone abortion in Bangladesh. This highlights the prevalence of sexual and gender-based violence against the woman as a weapon of a terror and war.
Intersectionality, which part of the feminist theory that argues of how combating all form of Discrimination and also marginalization requires a multi-perspective lens which can fully understand on how this oppression connected within the others, which increase the mass vulnerable groups. Therefore, insight from the intersectionality are connected to the experiences by the Rohingya people, especially women and girls. At the same time, the experiences by Rohingya women are in sync with the patriarchy, gender, religion, and also ethnicity, which is making them seemingly overwhelming. To illustrate, so the Rohingya woman cannot seek for the legal redress in court in terms of rape cases because the system does not even recognize them as part of the citizenship, social, and cultural structure. So Rohingya society are really deep into the conservative norms where the patriarchy and cultural constraint disappropriately impact the woman. Cultural norms restrict this woman mobility and also access to resources, and within this, they are actually forces to get early marriages. And after that, they become the caretakers of their own home, where in this case, because they're not particularly part of any citizenship, it is hard for them to get to work or even like get fundings because like they tend to get like policy brutality, mass imprisonment, and even economic marginalization due to the shrinking of the social structure. The absence of citizenship card become a consequence of this gender-based discrimination, which is why women in Rohingya tend to seek for refugees. Religion and ethnicity. The intersection of religion, ethnicity, and gender in the Rohingya impose multiple layers of minority burdens upon the woman. The normative acceptance of sexual abuse against Rohingya women, led by the Buddhist majority, underscored deeply ingrained biases. Why? Because when in terms of the Buddhist women, they're actually protected by law. So meanwhile, the Rohingya are not protected by law. So even according to this, it is hard for the Rohingya women to speak up to their family because they are scared of getting the societal stigmatization or getting divorced by their husband and also abandonment. In terms of legal framework, as we know that Myanmar has exemplified the 1982 Act, which is strategically employed as a political instrument to against the Rohingya women. Why? Because from this, the denial of citizenship status preclude them from political representation and illegal recourse, relegating them to least privileged chatroom with the political hierarchy. In terms of economy, adversity compounded by unemployment resulting from citizenship status prerequisite. So basically, that means this compound burden shaped by the intersection of legal, political, and economic factors propels these women towards forced migration.
About the case study and the topic about women experience in the Rohingya refugee camp, examination of women roles and challenges in the camps, leadership and decision making. Rohingya women play an important role in household management, childcare, and earning a living within the camps. However, they are often excluded from decision making process and leadership position, both within the camps and broader discussion about the future. Number two, is access to resource and service. Women face significant challenges in accessing essential resources such as food, healthcare, and sanitation. This is accompanied by cultural norm and practice that prioritize men's needs. Education and skill development. Access to education for girls is limited, hindering their development and long-term potential. In addition, skill training programs often focus on male-dominant occupation, ignoring women's needs and aspirations. Safety and protection. Women are particularly vulnerable to sexual and gender-based violence, SGBV, and it comes due to poor security, inadequate lighting, and limited access to justice mechanism. And now is point number two, is talking about impact of displacement on women right and agency that have five impact. Number one is loss of autonomy and control. Displacement disturbs the traditional gender roles and social structure, often leading to a loss of autonomy and control for women. This can impact their decision making power in the household and their ability to participate in public life. Number two is increased vulnerability to violence and exploitation. Displacement increased women's vulnerability to gender-based violence, trafficking, and exploitation due to weakened social support networks and lack of access to protection mechanisms. Number three is mental health and well-being. The trauma of displacement coupled with the continued uncertainty about their future can significantly affect women's mental health and well-being. Number four is limited access to reproductive health service. Women access to essential reproductive health service, including prenatal care and safe delivery, is often limited with camps, leading to increased maternal mortality and morbidity. Number five is reduced additional opportunity. Displacement disturbs girls' access to education, further limiting their future opportunity and perpetuating gender inequality.
Conclusion, examining the Rohingya refugee crisis through the feminist lens in international relations reveals the layers of oppression that faced by Rohingya women. The feminist analysis underscores the critical importance of intersectionality, recognizing the convergence of gender, ethnicity, and religion in uh, shaping the experiences of Rohingya women. Moreover, the intersectional vulnerabilities faced by Rohingya women, such as those related to disability, age, ethnicity, religion, and socioeconomic status, underscore the necessity of targeted interventions that consider the diverse needs of this marginalized population. We choose this theory as our favorite theory because we agree with the fundamental thought of feminism, as we are all women and we believe that women also have the rights to participate in the world's politics, and that our experiences in our lives are should not be deemed irrelevant to the international politics.